Hello, everyone. I started this other drawing today. Just kind of stalling, honestly, on this one in the back. So I started kind of a new doodle. Kind of wanted to finish the one that I have behind here on camera. Hey, what's up? Whenever it's been too long, which I just drew this like literally a couple hours ago. I always get kind of lost in the drawing and can't figure out which line connects to where. Always when I'm coloring or shading, that happens. Today's stream, I'll probably see how far I get on this one. And I'm also gonna go back and color that one from the last stream. I don't know why, but some things are just really fun to color. And the dragon, I'm especially, I think that's all there, or I have like the bird and some of the armor and things, but the dragon's kind of what I'm hyped to color on that one. Something about doing a character or like a green dragon or red dragon. And tigers are also a lot of fun. Putting that orange on them. It's looking great. Thank you. Hey, what's up? You're early for once. Yeah, I just started. A little bit later in the day than the last one. I'm pretty sporadic when it comes to stream times, but that seems to kind of not be such a bad thing, because then a lot of people catch this stream on times that I wouldn't normally to be able to. Um, is the folder underneath done, or are you gonna add some more touches to it? Yeah, still gonna color it. I'm gonna color the dragon green and maybe like its fur yellow or something, and then finish up a lot of the armor. There's like a lot of white spots on some of the armor on the tigers, and then probably color the bird. And oh yeah, I gotta finish drawing the lower half of this tiger. And then I think I'll probably leave it at that. I was gonna add more characters in the back, but I've kind of sat on it for a while, thinking I kind of like how it looks. So yeah, after I finish shading this one, I'm gonna go swap back to the other one. Kind of want to get the shadows on this one since the ink is a little fresh still. Can get a lot darker values. Especially when I use alcohol markers over top of the Gorilla marker. Going a bit heavy on the shadows and stuff doesn't matter too much. A lot of the alcohol marker will just overpower the shadows from the Crayola. I think I might start drawing along to this. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of in the drawing mood now. Yeah, man, go for it. Dude, I'd legit buy that folder from you. Well, I mean, all my originals are for sale at the moment, so you can always email me and ask me if certain ones ever available or um, that sort of thing. I have my email in the description or my bio on my YouTube channel. I think it's also in the description on all my videos too, if you guys are ever interested in that. Sometimes it's weird shading some of the characters that aren't really that finished. Oh, I guess his arm is up here. For real though, or maybe if it were in poster form, I'd totally hang that on my wall. Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe doing some bigger projects. I also need to set up prints so that a lot of these smaller ones can actually be blown up into bigger sizes. I don't really know what these characters are up here. There's some kind of like slime globs. I feel like over time I've kind of like built up some characters that are in whatever world this is. I keep drawing every day, but yeah, I like these guys down here, these like glue glob guys. Um, Kind of like discovered them in my sketchbook, and I don't know, just the weirdest stuff sometimes happens, and then sometimes I'll repeat those characters. All right, I'll work on this one. Still manifesting that one day you'll be on someone's beverage label. They kind of look like frog alien things. Yeah, yeah, some kind of creature. I could see frog alien. We got a bit of a stronger green for this dragon. Sometimes I always debate whether I should use multiple shades whenever I'm coloring with markers, but I really like the look of just flats or solid colors. Plus the undertones of the marker really kind of carries that. Lately I've liked the acrylic marker a little bit more than the usual brushes with ink, since I don't know, it just creates like this like smoky, kind of glazed look. I'll probably have the fur underneath a greenish yellow that I have. It's kind of funny, all the markers that I got, there's like not really a normal yellow in them for some reason. And there's like a weird, like, I can't remember what one of the yellows is, but it's like, oh, summer lemon, and there's like one that's almost like a pickle kind of yellow. Usually I just want a straight yellow, but for this dragon specifically, I think it might be actually cool having a greenish yellow. You're currently making a eye study for your OC. What is your OC gonna be like? You're drawing your persona. Yeah, that's pretty cool actually. That's a cool idea. Yeah, I've never made like a an OC before, but kind of just make a lot of different characters. I've never like been the type person to really um, stick with one character. I'm pretty like jumping around. It's kind of the one of the reasons that I don't do comic books is because I don't like redrawing the same character over and over, which kind of sucks. But I really wish I liked doing that. I think comics would be really fun. It's just again, I don't know. There's too much like resistance. It takes too much effort to try to get myself to push through it. Where doing something like this doesn't really take any effort, kind of. Kind of realize I just have to do a lot of like random characters and kind of do whatever my mind thinks of on the fly. And that drawing in that way kind of gets me to draw more and keep going back. He's a main character for a story that you've been working for years. Dang, dude, that's cool. soon enough you're gonna commit to making the one shot for the story? Yeah, man, that sounds cool. Yeah, I've tried writing a lot of different stories, but they like don't transfer to drawing for some reason. I just like can't transfer those ideas. Not really. No, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just like a weird detachment. So I kind of basically have to either draw and then kind of like make mini stories on the page from like the random thoughts and different characters that happen, or I have to like fully write. But I haven't wrote in a long time because I've kind of chosen drawing as kind of the creative form, I guess. And then when I'm drawing and I have like that kind of urge to make a story or something, I'll just kind of do it in a character really. This is a pretty bright green. Whenever I look at my screen to see what the it looks like on stream, I almost thought the dragon was being cut off from the page, but I realized that's just the folder cutting him off. I feel like I'm always trying to create some kind of balance between the characters. Let me check what other. Ooh, we got lemon green, or summer lemon. That's not confusing at all for colors. Both called lemon and they're both yellow. Yeah, lemon green is the color that I was thinking of there. Yellow fur doesn't make much sense, but it's what I'm thinking for this dragon. We got yellow underbelly. Yeah, dude, a web comic would be really cool. I haven't read many web comics or seen much of them, but I know my sister sits in her room some days and just reads web comics all day. Probably do pink as the third color. Seems to kind of make sense with the lips, nose, and put a little pink inside that ear. Oh, I thought I grabbed orange. That was kind of weird. I thought I grabbed orange and I grabbed a purple. All right, I needed a tongue color. Well, maybe that color was actually the color I needed. Kind of like this pink. I think I'll make his rapids. Do one sword pink. What are you using for the shading at the beginning? Then the ink. So the line arts, I I've been drawing with a Crayola marker, and then I'm just putting water over the lines, and it's pretty much dragging the marker ink around. That's what's doing the shading. Rose Bouvard. Ooh, that is bright. Definitely is pretty rose color. Those markers take me back to those ninth grade art class days. Yeah, I think markers are pretty fun. I was trying to look for a good way to color. And it's like always thought back to markers, but um, I always didn't like that they costed so much. But yeah, they last quite a bit, and there's a lot of cheaper brands out nowadays. So it's not so bad. I've tried watercolor a few times, and it kind of just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't like, I don't know, I don't like mixing colors out. I try to lessen the amount of steps I have to do. Well, I don't remember what blue I used. I think I used brilliant blue. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much since his chest piece here be pretty in shadow, so kind of use whatever blue I want, and it'd probably work. What is going on, Home Slice? What music do you hear? Any rock or metal? I don't listen to much rock or metal. Um, I can't name like what the genre that I listen to is, but it's kind of a slower paced. Some like electronic genre, but it's not very um yeah, I don't know, not like a mainstream electronic. I haven't listened to music. I don't really listen to music that often though. If I do, it's maybe like an hour once a week or something. In the last year, I kind of just stopped listening to music. Um, and now if I listen to music, it's kind of makes it hard for me to think. I don't know why, but it just kind of happens. What about some goat? You asked me if I have heard ghosts. Have we tried marker with color pencil? I don't really like pencils too much because of like the like chalky feel. But I've tried pastel pencils before. Yeah, and it was like fun to do once, but after that, that's kind of like, okay, that's enough. Mm, yeah, mostly just like markers if I'm gonna color something. I also use a lot of water-based stuff, so I can't use watercolor over the acrylic marker. And usually alcohol marker goes over a lot of the inks pretty well. You listen to Whatever Sounds Good by Elo Breakcore. Yeah, I listened to like I think last year I was like in a huge breakcore binge. I listened to that like pretty much every day, I think for like a whole year. I kind of like the slower breakcore though. Some of like the really fast stuff. Um, I don't like as much, but I like most of it. There are just like certain songs that's like, okay, that's a little a little too much for me. I remember when I was super into breakcore, I was like the amount of beats per minute in the breakcore genre is pretty insane. Um, and I was kind of stupid and looked up like what some songs sound like if you had like crazy amounts of beats per minute, and I highly advise not listening to that. And if you're crazy and try to do it on really low volume, because this stuff almost like hurt my ears. Hmm. Lo-fi is also a favorite for you. Yeah, lo-fi is pretty solid. Like you really can't go wrong with lo-fi. You've been trying out acrylic inks mixed with alcohol and a brush. It works pretty much the same as markers. Mm. I've never tried that before. Or I've never seen anyone do that either. Yeah, that makes sense. You like the fast breakcore for cleaning and calming down, and then slower breakcore for relaxing and drawing. Breakcore is just like really fast electronic music. It's kind of, I don't know if you've heard of like glitch electronic, but it's kind of like that. But it's um a lot of drums with it, like fast-paced drums with electro, I guess. Hopefully it's a good color. These are all such weird colors for armor, but I kind of want to get as much variation on their armor colors. Yeah, it's definitely in the hundreds for beats per minute. Yeah, it's kind of weird. The more you listen to breakcore, though, it does become calming, even though it's like super fast paced and probably should induce like anxiety or something. You've heard it, but you don't know. Never knew exactly what you're hearing. Yeah, you probably have heard it before. It's definitely become a lot more popular now. I think they've even used it in like some movie trailers or commercials now too. I should probably. Boom, boom. Uh-oh. I lost what blue I was using. Nah, whatever. We'll have it a different blue. I feel like all the dark blues I have are pretty much the same color. Wonder how many markers are just the same color but rebranded as a different color or different tone or something. I feel like I literally have like 10 blues that are all just dark navy blue. I mean, because the amount of beats in it drowns out most thoughts. That's why it's sort of calming, maybe. Like for me, it helps not to overthink. Yeah, I think that is what it is. Yeah, the noise is just like happening so fast that kind of clears your head because you're like focusing on the sounds. All right, what color for this bird? I'll finish this tiger. All right, tiger finish. What happens to you is that their colors don't look anything like the cover they have. Oh yeah, the colors are all over the place. Especially like the ones I have. A lot of the cab colors is like way different, or like different tones or different colors. All of them don't really make sense of what color they actually are. But I've kind of gotten a little bit used to it. Colors come out dry for some reason. I haven't had that happen to me yet, but I hope that doesn't. Alright, at least I shouldn't lose my orange for the tiger since that color is literally called orange on it. I probably should have shaded this. Good to know I can shade with the water still after even adding the markers. Alright, you gotta wait for that to dry. Right, this tiger's armor is definitely just gonna be red because I haven't done that yet. can find a red. Old red. This is a little bit of a burgundy, but alright, that's good. A bit of off yellow for the beak. Alright, what's a cool bird color? Don't really want to do pink since he's not still there. Maybe like some kind of gray. Maybe this color's cool. Oh, that's a dark blue. Well, I guess we're doing this. Whoops. Not really what the cap looks like. We were like just talking about that. It looks more like a light purplish, but I guess he's gonna be some kind of raven or a crow now. I was thinking about doing blue earlier, but I didn't want him to contrast too much with the bigger tiger. But now I don't have much of a choice. I have to roll with it. Why are you always lying? Words can't describe how beautiful the folder is looking. Thank you. I appreciate it. Little by little, this one's kind of chipping away. Wait, before I forget, I'm gonna go back and finish this tiger's arm. I think the blue kind of works. Realized I can kind of maybe have him without feathers on this other arm, since I don't know why, but when I was drawing it, I didn't really add any feathers on this arm, so just kind of make it like he just has skin. I might have lost my blue now. Okay, there it is. Those marker caps are so treacherous. I know. It's fooled me so many times. Yeah, every color I haven't tried yet is a little in the danger zone for finding out. I probably could go and like do color swatches of all them, but then I don't really like having a list next to me of all the colors. Plus, a lot of times when I'm picking a color, I kind of just like grab something and go. Find another brown. You want to be friend one of the neighborhood crows around where you live? Not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know if I really like crows too much, but I think ravens are really cool. Mm, mm. All right, now I'm doing actual red. That's bird. Maybe not the best color combo, but kind of running out of color choices here. Try not to repeat the same colors. almost looks kind of pink, and that's some of the other characters. All right, just need a yellow. And like one more color for this sword. All right, I think I'm gonna call that one good. Definitely looks a lot better with the fully colored. I think cleaned up a lot of it. And I'm gonna start on this new bad boy. I didn't know Itachi meant weasel. That's kind of funny. If you had a raven, you would name it Itachi because of the genjutsu. Yeah, his ravens are pretty badass. Yeah, this folder had a bent corner, and it was like that when I got it. Now it's just part of it. Bro, how you just come up with something out of nowhere, it's amazing. Like your art kind of inspires me to try and experiment with that a little more and just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, a lot of it is just kind of like I just kind of draw whatever happens, I guess. It's kind of whatever happens, I just kind of go with it for the rest of the drawing. It's not like a specific thing I'm really trying to do. Just kind of really just exploring and seeing what happens. What's kind of the fun part for me is not knowing what's gonna end up on the page at the end. Freestyle, yeah. Nah, the Crayola marker is not that hard to use. It's kind of no different than a pen. I think I'll have a tiger here. Try a little bit of a different variation, maybe one with like more fur than I normally do. Maybe a little bit of a bigger head too, since it has a lot more fur. Tigers will rule that world. Yeah, I mean, the marker is pretty much a micron if you just go on bigger paper. I always like to do the whiskers kind of thick, since whenever I just do the whiskers, it's like lines. It gets a little lost in the detail. It makes it really hard to kind of even know there are whiskers. So we just like, especially later, once I add more on the character, the characters around, it would just kind of like look like I made a random like dash in front of a bunch of the other parts of the character. I mean, a lot of drawings trying to problem solve. this fur out. One of my dogs is a woolly husky, and he has too much fur, and it's kind of what I'm thinking of for this tiger. Lately, there's been kind of like a sweet spot when I start to add in the dark markings. Tigers versus skeletons? Yeah, pretty much. Spooky, scary skeletons send shivers down your spine. That's a lot of words that start with S. I think I'd be more afraid of a tiger than a skeleton. Well, actually, I take that back. If there was like a fantasy skeleton that was, because you might not be able to stop him if he just keeps like reanimating back to life. What are you to do? Skeletor. Skeletons from Minecraft kind of scary because I swear they come out of nowhere sometimes and start shooting. Yeah, they're arrows, man. Kind of want to repeat this shoulder pattern on maybe like a little piece of his chest there. Maybe even do that same thing on the back here. I did not expect to see a heart in this. But I love the unexpectedness, if that's even a word. I think that's a word. Yeah, the spider noises from Minecraft are actually creepy. Mm, Especially when you're like mining in a cave and all of a sudden it's like you can't see it. I do the strips. Yeah, my drawings are always pretty random for the topics and what's happening. Sometimes the characters will kind of go together in pairs, and then other times it can be a little bit chaotic. Kind of just happens from like drawing, and then I'll try something out, and then I'll kind of be like, oh, what if this happens next, or now I kind of want to draw like a dinosaur, or now I want to draw a knight, or just like it's kind of just like random like urges to just draw random different things. And I'll like draw one character that has like samurai armor or something, and then maybe draw a couple more after I kind of like that, or want to do some variations. And then it kind of just like hops around, and then I might get bored of drawing samurai armor, so then I switch to um, doing something else. Like this dude has a mug for a head. Speaking of that, I should add another one over here. This is probably one of my favorite characters uh, that I've made up. Is literally just a guy that is a coffee cup. I don't know why it's so satisfying. And I always do this kind of character mostly with the acrylic marker because it's satisfying coloring in the inside. Sometimes I'll decide to give him eyebrows, and then other times I just leave him with like the snarled brow. I don't know why too, but the more like wide I make his mouth and lips, the funnier it kind of ends up. Yeah, and then my favorite part is just coloring in this. Because like for a while, and still kind of am trying to find out different ways to add a lot of black to the drawings as like a darkish tone, since it really like splits up the characters. And especially when I go to shade then with the water wash, it makes the black like really pop, kind of from the contrast. There's some things that like look really good with the dark, like having like coffee in this mug works really well, and like tiger stripes, the skull eyes and nose and those sorts of things. And then there's like I've tried doing birds all black. No, it's kind of weird like coloring it all in as like a solid um thing across the whole thing. It makes it look a little flat. But there's like certain things that work really well. Like hair, I think works well. Hats, I like doing a lot of the hats and different things like that. Dark as well. And then sometimes I'll have the coffee like spilling out. You think 75% of the net is bots? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, especially with AI. Maybe I'll just have this guy kind of walking around this way. Maybe trying to escape from this tiger. He probably should be helping, but he's kind of just running away. He's like, no, it's too much for me. I think since his shirt's kind of thin, I'll have probably his legs pretty skinny. I got the shoe dark too. Yeah, it's a Crayola marker. All right. Before I get too far into this, I should probably go in with the water though. Yeah, don't worry, the train is not near me. What possessed me to buy Crayola? No, there was a train, but yeah. What possessed me to buy Crayola? I don't know. I had like a marker pack sitting there one day, and I just tried out the markers, and I was like, dang, you know what? This is kind of better than, or like I like it more than a lot of other drawing things that I've tried before, and I've always kind of like been experimenting with a lot of different things. So I just started drawing it. I like that it's like so smooth to draw with. And I really like a lot of water-based ink as well, because it's really easy to just take water and then go over and use that for shading. The one thing I really wished was that when I go in with the water though, like when I go over with the water and drag for the first time, it makes a really um like ocean kind of like greenish blue. I wish that was the end blue, but it turns like into a very light blue once it dries and different things. But if it could stay as that greenish color, then I don't think I would ever I would never use anything else. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised the train even picked up. Yeah, I also watched some videos, and there's some people that compared Crayola markers with like other alcohol markers and kind of try to see which ones could last longer. And so they just like filled the whole page with the colors and different things, and the Crayola marker lasted a long time. The one thing I have found though is they like temporarily dry out pretty quick, so I have like a lot on hand, and I have like a whole it looks pretty bad, but I have a whole box of Crayola markers on hand. And then when I use one, then I'll like flip it upside down. And then so the ones that have the cap upside down are the ones I've used. So then I kind of know which ones might dry out and that sort of thing. But then yeah, all the ones that are flipped up are the new ones. And then when one dries out, then I'll just like swap it out. Oh, and it only like temporary dries out though, because I could go back to it in like a maybe like 30 minutes to an hour, and it will be completely fine. So I think just like the nib or the end of it just dries out temporarily. I guess alcohol markers fade out, and I think there's a hack to make them work again. I have an overkill on markers and alcohol markers. You paint liquid acrylic and pop art. Yeah, I think what you can like put like rubbing. Well, I don't know for sure about this, but I think you put like rubbing alcohol in the end, or and it'll like kind of activate it again for alcohol markers. It's been a while since I tried, but I think it's something like that. You fell in love with spray paint? Yeah, I tried spray paint in school, and that was pretty fun. I didn't really like that I couldn't draw too much with it though, like other than making like a stencil. Oh, for regular markers? If you spray over liquid acrylic, it looks cool too. I've never tried any of those things. I only tried stencils, but yeah, that could be pretty cool. Yeah, thank you. Take it easy, bro. All right. I think I'm probably gonna head out now. I have pretty good start on the next one. We finished up the last one and colored all that one. So I think this is probably a good starting point. Thank you everyone for watching. See you guys all in the next one if you guys come back. Good, good meeting you. Stop over anytime. Yeah, I definitely will. All right, everyone. I'll see ya.